It's actually pretty good. Alright, for real though, that is going to be a bit of a running gag with these videos. Alright, well, anyways, yeah, this is in next week, so now, we got Professor Fletchades here. I tried to type in Professor Fletchades, but Xbox won't allow me to put in all the letters for this character. Oh well. But yeah, stealth archery isn't the worst in Oblivion either. It's not as great as it is in Skyrim, and honestly, you do want to make a good build for it, but honestly, it's not the worst in as it is in more of the series. Like, in Oblivion, it's actually not bad. It's actually almost as good as in Skyrim. I'm going to take some rat meat so we can make some poisons, because stealth archery is actually pretty good when paired with poisoning. And of course, there's definitely a bunch of tricks you can pull off here. So, yeah, literally right there. Right there is the rusty iron bow. So, you know, all we would need is some arrows. Oh, would you look at that? There's 28 here. So right up here, you can see these rats running past. And then you're going to have this rat over here attacking this zombie. That'll give you a good... That'll give you a good bit of sneak skill if you're sneaking here, and it'll allow you to shoot at the zombie to get a bit of XP, and we'll be able to kill the zombie and take his mort flesh. And then these rats up here, and they actually kept these rats passive in the newer version. Now, something I discovered. On a controller, if you take like a rubber band or a hairband or anything like that, and if you like hold the analog sticks like this, like, hang on, y'all won't be able to see it, but I'm actually going to get this set up and then continue talking to you, and basically there's a way you can like hands-free grind skills, because as you can see when I'm standing here, I'm not getting sneak XP like at all. In fact, here, let me go here. Let me look at my sneak skill, see what it's at, because the higher your sneak skill, the less likely you are to get detected. So as you can see, it's 8. I wait a few seconds, still 8, still same progress. I move around a bit. As you can see, the progress goes up a good bit. But if I wait, nothing. I move around. Lots of progress. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hairband, I'm going to wrap it around my view analog stick, the right analog stick, wrap it around the underside of my controller, and bring it up to my... Okay, hang on, what did I do? Alright. Y'all probably heard it, so you know I'm definitely doing something here. I'm going to slap it onto my movement stick. And now, if I make sure to sneak, there we go. Now that I'm sneaking, I am completely hands-free. That is the sound of me clapping. Here's some snapping for you, so you know that I'm completely hands-free. I don't have to do anything. I can literally just walk off, go get some coffee, and come back, and my sneak skill will boost through the roof. If I get it up to Journeyman right here, it basically quickly boosts how well you can sneak. It also increases, like, not only does it increase how easy it is to, like, hide in plain visibility, but it also increases your damage on sneak attacks. Now, if I just go into my inventory right quick, I don't know if I can... Okay, yeah, now that I think about it, I'm probably not going to be able to... Hang on, can I? Oh, that does it. Hang on. Okay, so I managed to get over to it, so... Fletchades is getting a microwave here. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I got a sneak skill of 13. As you can see, it's going up still as I'm sitting here. In fact, y'all saw the update, so I'm going to actually do a bit of a speed ahead. I'm going to let this go all the way up to Journeyman, and yeah, I will be back in a sec, so enjoy speed ahead. Alright, and I have gotten up to 50 sneak, so removing the little band there, it actually knocked the info thing off. However, with Journeyman Sneak, that actually maximizes our bow damage as a stealth archer, because if you couldn't see it, it basically said that your damage with marksman weapons while sneaking is tripled and melee weapons is hextupled. So times 3 damage with bows, which means my sneak attacks here using a rusty bow that does 1 damage plus the 1 damage arrow, that's a whole 6 damage per sneak attack. Alright. Man, that was a rough speed ahead, because I do believe Wisp Stalks and Stinkhorn have damage health, which is very nice to have, because we want to be able to get poisons. Because poisons are very busted in this game. And you can place them on bows to make your, well, you can place them on your arrows to make your arrows do more damage, which is very nice. And yeah, of course I get a tutorial talking about hotkeying items after I hotkey, but that's fine. And I guess I'll show off bits and pieces here and there on all the different strengths of stealth archer gameplay in Oblivion. I may actually hit the Imperial City first before I go into the first little dungeon, so I can show you how to get a good setup, because you actually need a pretty good setup with stealth archer just to make it more playable, you know? Because stealth archer is good, but it's not the best. You know, it's definitely not super strong. At least it's not as strong as it is in Skyrim. Because in Skyrim, you could just straight up bully NPCs all day long. But in Oblivion, things are definitely interesting. Yeah, Wisp Stalks and Stinkhorn. I can definitely get more of those with scroll duping in a sec when we get into town and when I show off a few little glitches. Yeah. And am I going the right way? Yeah, this is the right way. Right? Nope. No, it's been a second. Maybe this is the right way. Yeah, this is definitely the right way. Oh. Well, I failed to... Oh, God. Yeah, I didn't sneak off on him. I forgot that this was the guy who was by the trap. And yeah, sword play is definitely a lot stronger than bow play. At least in the early game. However, you can make bow and arrow definitely viable in this game. It's just a lot harder to pull off than in Skyrim. Because in Skyrim, you could just pick up a bow and buy some arrows, you know, from like a cheap blacksmith, or even just get it from the tutorial area, and you're set. But here in Oblivion, you do actually need at least a bit of setup, which I do kind of like. Now, of course, stealth does have its benefits in other ways, so this is a very unique situation here. I don't think there's ever any other log trap like this in the entire game. It's literally this here in the tutorial, and then maybe you can count the Minotaur's head in one Dark Brotherhood quest where you have to, well, drop a Minotaur's head on someone. Like, maybe you can count that as a trap similar, since you're dropping something heavy on a bunch of enemies to kill them. Or, I guess, dropping something heavy on one guy to kill him. Which is kind of similar to dropping heavy logs on 2 goblins. But in the meantime... yeah, as you can see, stealth archery is definitely good for that first shot, but you can see the damage drop-off afterwards is massive. Now, if you're luring goblins out one at a time, you can actually deal with this area pretty easily. Because you can just pick the goblins off, lure them over, and deal with them one at a time. And honestly, with something like this, Oblivion is a very specific game where you wouldn't want to level up. And it's especially the fact with stealth archery simply due to its lower damage. It significantly has low damage. In fact, I'd say stealth archery is probably the weakest in Oblivion, simply due to its low DPS. Like, you don't have very good burst damage. It's good for applying poisons at a distance, and the poisons definitely count for something, but however, I'm going to say it, stealth archery just doesn't really work in Oblivion as well as in other games. Like, it's actually stronger in Morrowind. But I will get there next week when we get to that video. In the meantime, I'm, sniping off some guys. And I mean, you can see just how strong it actually is. I mean, I'm dealing decent damage. I mean, this witch here definitely has a lot of health, but that's because this goblin here is a boss. A boss with very poor aim and very poor, oh, there you go. Come on, try it again. Yeah, she doesn't exactly have very good brain power, does she? Professor Fletchades literally just able to help. I think she, oh, never mind. I thought she ran out of charges. Oh, I think she ran out of charges now. Oh, never mind. Ooh. Not bad. Alright, let me show you how it's done. Yeah. Goblin Shaman Staff is very weak. Not even worth grabbing. It's a very unique looking weapon. Not very strong. Just got a repair hammer. Yeah, it is always nice to carry a spare blade around though. So grab this long blade in this chest since it's literally just as strong as Captain Reynolds' long sword. Oh, never mind. It's slightly weaker. Huh. Well, still, it's a good weapon to have as a sidearm in the early game because of the fact that, well, you lose the Akaviri Katana after the tutorial. It's basically just a weapon that's there to get you most through the tutorial, basically. And these rats here, they're actually not aggro unless you open the gate. And that's mostly due to, not really a bug, it's actually an intended feature, but it's an intended feature that's poorly designed. Because these rats are meant to be behind this gate so they're not aggroed to you when you're, when they're unable to reach you. But you can jump into the cage with the rats and they would still not care. But I guess get angry because you open the cage, because then they can reach you even though, well, they can reach you from here. Like, look, you can see this rat. Oh, that's a dead rat. I swore I saw a third rat. Tell you what, I'll find him. Yep, there he is. Hello. Yeah, as you can see, he was probably sitting right there watching me, and yeah. But this video isn't about rats and cages. This video is about stealth archery and just how strong it is here in Oblivion. Alright, well, I guess we have to get out of this tutorial area so I can get to the Imperial City and stop ranting on about setting up a stealth archer, and I guess rant on about setting up a stealth archer slightly better. One thing you do want to do, though, is in this tutorial area, grab all the arrows you can find just so you can get through the tutorial area. However, once you get to later stages of the game, you definitely want to pick up stronger arrows and scroll dupe them, because that just allows you to increase your damage by a bunch.
We need to get the Emperor.
If I sit here in stealth, oh, yeah, they detect me, so. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to sneak past these guys. Yeah, they have scripted deaths.
I think that was all of them. Let me take a look around.
Have you seen the prisoner?
Do you think he followed us? How could he?
I know he did.
Yeah, I like how...
Not yet.
I like how if you don't jump down immediately, they don't be like, oh, it's the prisoner, you know, like, they actually wait for you, and I actually discovered that they will
keep moving.
Not yet.
They will literally
Let me
complain
rest
if you
a
don't
moment
jump
longer.
down.
Damn it! It's that prisoner again. Kill him. He might be working with the assassins.
No, he is not one of them. He can help us. He must
Alright, well,
help
time
us.
to pick our birth
They
sign,
cannot.
I guess.
How can?
Because of how Oblivion is, this is where you get the birth
I know.
sign. And the best sign for a stealth archer, well, there isn't really one. Not really any particular sign. The Shadow Stone is good for just turning invisible. At least you'll get a free stealth archer shot by being able to just turn invisible. So Shadow is possibly the best.
The signs I read show the end of my path. Your star.
Yeah, so basically, you know, use invisibility whenever you can, just
You
to,
may as well
stick
close.
just to be able to hit your shots. Now we have to follow the battalion here to basically get out of this tutorial area. Because he'll approach.
I can go no further.
There he is.
You alone must stand against. Fine.
Alright, so now I have the amulet. This assassin comes in.
You chose a bad day.
There we go.
No. Talos save us.
Alright. Oh, and Boris will literally just stare at you until you approach. I thought he would approach you. There we go.
The blades are sworn to protect the Emperor.
Alright, now we can get our class
in.
in. And let's see what
Joffrey?
class Boris thinks we are.
Nothing I ever heard about. Although you may not think so to meet him, he lives quietly as a monk.
Alright, and how do I
First,
get
you
there?
need to get out of here. It's a secret way out of the Imperial City.
Through
Here,
the
you'll need
sewers.
this.
Alright, now let's see what class Boris
There are
thinks
rats
we
and
are.
goblins down there. But from what I've seen of you, I'm guessing you're an experienced thief. Am I right?
An experienced thief. Wow, that's a way to say that I did fuck all in helping the Emperor out. Alright, well, apparently I could only call this class a Stealth Arch. Yikes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that part out, because apparently anytime I try to type anything in any, like, Xbox 360 game, port it over to Xbox One, it just cuts the stream. That is weird. But yeah, I'm going to be a Stealth Arch, short for Stealth Archer. So yeah, there's that. Oh,
I wasn't far off. In any
Journeyman.
you must.
Yeah. Yes,
Good.
I understand.
I'll by.
And now we can go through this place. So, yeah, we got Dunbar Cove and everything. Now let's look at our stats. Yeah, as you can see, we have level ups in progress. And oh, that jumped my sneak all the way up to 72 doing that. Okay, I guess I forgot that that's a perk of doing that in the OG version. However, it did also boost all of my other skills. So you can see I have a marksman of 31. Acrobatics of 30 ain't bad. That boosts my bow and arrow damage up to 2 each, which that means that now my bow and arrow does, well, let's see here, 4 times 3, so 12 damage every shot, with just these basic bow and arrows. So we're pretty good. We should be able to, at the very least, clear our way through these sewers with like little to no issue. And yeah, I'm getting all of the friggin' DLC quests in the tutorial section. I don't think I've ever seen that. I guess they're time-based, and I kind of just sat there sneaking most of the time, and most people would just speed run all the way through the tutorial and out the sewers, and that's why most people just grab all those quests the second they leave the sewers. But yeah, as you can see, we can just one-shot rats. Got this goblin trying to poke out. One-shot him. So yeah, we're dealing significantly more damage now. And yeah, basically if I sleep, I would level up, and that would actually make the game harder and actually ruin this stealth archer experience a good bit, because all the enemies having low health is part of the reason why I'm able to just absolutely maul the living crap out of these guys. And I can also grab some rat meat off them. I should also, actually, wait a minute, think about it, I should have a spell that lights the way a bit. So yeah, now we can see garlic and lockpicks. Nice, lovely. Alright. So now we can at least see where we're going, shoot enemies, and we're not doing bad for ourselves. Oh yeah, and with my archery boosted up to like 25 or I guess 30, it also brought it up to apprentice, which not apprentice, novice, which that's novice or apprentice. I think it's apprentice. Yeah, apprentice. So basically, holding out my bow and arrow doesn't consume fatigue, is what I'm trying to say. That's a perk with being good at marksman. Because, yeah, having your arrow consume fatigue as you're holding your bow out, that can be quite annoying. But now I can do this and endlessly until I find something I want to shoot. There ain't anything out here, so I'll just shoot the ground and pick the arrow up. Alright. Now let's go ahead and, I guess, hit the market district. We have this place ahead of us. Oh, enemies nearby. Okay. Well, we have this place in front of us. I guess I could go through that place and clear it if I really wanted to. However, I'd actually like to hit the Imperial Market District first and basically make a bunch of poisons to show what a full setup of, well, this build is like. So what I'm going to do is grab a couple of scrolls, and we're just going to scroll with Stoltz and Stinkhorn to mass produce as many poisons as I can to basically just maximize our damage with every single arrow. And of course, with 70 arrows, we should be set. Now, we're going to immediately go here. And I'm just going to, let's see here, we have 57 gold, so I'm going to sell this. Now maybe sell the, sell my flashbolt scroll? Actually, do you have a flashbolt or a chameleon scroll? Because if I just get one of those... Alright, let's see here, it's all in... No, he doesn't have either of those kind of scrolls. Well, dang. Here, I'll just take 2 absorb magicka scrolls then. because you have multiple of them, that's 50 gold. That's fine. I'm going to make
Another-
a ton of gold back.
Goodbye.
So if y'all don't know about this trick, this actually isn't in the remastered version, and it's a original exclusive. If you just press A on a scroll item a couple of times like so, in fact, if I hold A, it should have the same effect. Yep. Holding A has the same effect. I'm going to hold A with this to get 3 here. Then I'm going to drop all but 1, hold A here. As you can see, that definitely dupes up everything. So now I have a 2, a 3, and a 5. What kind of setups do I want to do here? I want to leave these two just as a low ball. I'm just going to mass produce these scrolls here. So that way we can basically be set for life with just about anything we ever need. Because this glitch here works with just about everything and is possibly one of the most well-known glitches, and is honestly, in my opinion, one of the fastest ways you can get some early money, because you can do this and then just scroll dupe literally to anything of value, like, I guess, this flawless ruby or this petty soul gem, mass sell that and just get a bunch of money easily. And then you can, from there, buy just about all that money can get you and
Well met.
get all you need. However, I guess I'll do this one last
They say
time.
that the priests and priestesses of the Chapel of Dibella have all been murdered. No one even knows who did it. Goodbye.
Yeah, I got all the
Farewell.
DLC, so they're gonna have rumors of the priests, and there we go, 69 flashbolt scrolls. That should be more than enough. Now, what I'm going to do with this is quite simple. As you can see, I have 1 thing of wisp stalks and 4 things of stinkhorn. I'm actually going to, I guess what I can do right quick is sell 3
Yes?
stinkhorn.
Have a look at my
Yes.
works. I'm sure there's something.
That would
to
work.
suit. Come back.
And now, I'm going to simply go over here, hold A, go over here.
You too.
Okay, I screwed that up. Alright. So I think hold A, and go over here. There we go, that's much more like it. 69 stinkhorn, just like that. And I'm going to make 68 poison potions. That'll level my alchemy, and of course just give us a ton of poisons that we will all be able to use to maximize our damage in this next dungeon
Well
raid.
met.
So we can, oh, don't take my stink horns, you stinky horn. Now to do the same thing with the wisp stalks. It shouldn't really take too long because, you know, scroll duping isn't really much of an art style of delicacy and longevity. It's really more of just creating a bunch of stuff from nothing and just being able to cheese the game a good bit, which is always good fun. And of course, you could, in theory, do all of this just by simply grinding. Now, I just want you to see, so these poisons right here, they deal 18 damage in total, just right now with making these basic damage health poisons. And now, we have poisons that deal 30 damage. yeah, so as you can see, that's basically ramped up a good bit. And I could do that a whole bunch of times, and as you can see around, so it did 33, then 31, then 4. So yeah, that basically levels up my alchemy a whole bunch. It's a way to power level if you really want to, very quickly, one of my favorite ways to power level in this game. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a good bit more, because 30 damage is really good. That can basically one-shot most of any enemies. However, I think we can do a bit better than that. So I'm going to get some more Stinkhorn and Wistalk, and we're going to do that again. Make another 68 potions, or poisons rather. Shouldn't over-encumber us too much. However, we can definitely sell a bunch of these off to get a bunch of money. And then, of course, just keep all the strong ones and maybe scroll dupe some of the stronger ones, if I really need to. However, it would be better to just scroll dupe the ingredients and make more poisons, since that would literally just increase your skills and make your poisons even stronger. In fact, there's basically nothing stopping you from never sleeping, unless you really want to do the Dark Brotherhood quest, that is, and just staying as level 1 and just maximize your alchemy so you can have the strongest poisons in all of the lands right at level 1, and then just be a stealth archer by sheerly killing everything with your poisons. So yeah, as you can see, this is also increasing our damage a good bit. So doing that one more time, going through that whole fiasco one more time. It didn't really go up by much. 33 damage is still pretty good though. As you can see, we now have 43 poisons that deal 33 damage. So the rest of these poisons I can probably just sell off.
Go
They
ahead.
shouldn't be...
What can I
They should be
interest you?
pretty good for... They should be good at getting us some money at least. Let's see here. So if I sell all these, that's 290 gold. All these
good
gives
price
us
for a good-
279. And all these gives us
Excellent.
231. And we still have 43 poisons that
Another
deal 33 damage per
be
hit.
seeing you.
On top of, mind you, a grand total of 12 damage. So 12 damage from a piercing shot with a bow, followed by a slow burning poison that deals a grand total of 33 right afterwards. Yeah, so Stealth Archer in Oblivion is not strong as a massive burst, but is rather strong as just a powerhouse, really, in the long term, if you use the right setup. I'm going to actually get poisons there, and I'm going to drop a save. And we're going to go ahead and raid this dungeon and test our build out. So it's time to actually test Fletchades out, and see how fleshed out Fletchades is with this Stealth Archer setup. Now, I'm not... Yeah, Vilverin. That's right. Vilverin. It's definitely a bit more epic in the remaster. It's still nice, though. Very pretty. I'm going to get a poison set up, and as you can see, there's a bandit way off in the distance. I'm going to line this shot up. And, as you can see, because I was far enough away, the poison just did its magic, and her comrade shouldn't have aggroed simply because I was that far away. I'm going to apply another poison, and yeah, the poison really is really strong. As you can see, I did do a good bit of burst damage right off the bat, though. And really, that poison was just the finisher. It was just a hook and sinker, and you know what? That's probably what I'm going to call the Oblivion Stealth Archer, the hook and sinker setup, because That's basically the best way to set up your stealth archer in Oblivion, is more as a hook and sinker rather than a auto cannon, like an AA gun in Skyrim. Because you just straight up nuke enemies with your stealth archery skills in Skyrim. But in Oblivion, it's just chemical warfare at a distance. The poison didn't even apply there. Wow. That's how strong that was. Alright, and mind you, some of these bandits do carry arrows, which does mean that I'm actually going to get more arrows back from doing this. And wow, this person went flying. Wow, like... Huh. Yeah, another 14 arrows. We're up to 87. Good lord. Alright, time to enter this dungeon and see how powerful Fletchades is and how well he can go through Vilvarin. Now, this is, of course, a very basic dungeon. I've already ran through this dungeon in a stream when playing the remaster, and I've run through this dungeon a few times. It's definitely a very nice dungeon to get settled in, definitely test things out. And I think this could definitely be a good reoccurring theme, is testing out the build in dungeons. And I know for a fact... Oh, okay. I'm gonna reload. Because apparently casting spells does alert people to your presence, so... Yeah, And it is really hard to see. You know what? Real quick, I rarely mess with the gamma because I do like having things set up. And I don't think gamma really... it does do a good bit. Yeah, I'm going to have the gamma raised just to make this easier, because I'm going to say it now, Khajiit is definitely the best race for stealth archers simply because of Night Eye. Yo, it may be annoying to look at, but it's just so good to be able to just see what you're doing. And yeah, that poison is deadly. I mean, he literally sat here in the back. I guess he didn't know where to go to look for me. And god, that brightness is actually atrocious. The second I look at anything... Oh, look, a pressure plate. I'm just gonna avoid that pressure plate. Yeah, but in theory, you would want to have a Night Eye effect that you would constantly activate before you go into any of these areas. And we should be able to just melt... Oh, wow. That was terrifying. We should be able to just melt our way through this entire dungeon. Because, I mean, we're doing so much damage that, yeah, basically everything will die here. Wow. Impressive. Yeah, those traps could actually mess you up, though, if you aren't careful. So, you know, do watch out for traps in this place. Now, got a couple of bandits out here. Looks like we got one sitting up here. Do I have people looking for me?
Her presence here will not be tolerated. To arms!
Okay. Okay, here, let's see if the poison will take him. Oh, wait, I had flash bolt equipped. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'll just shoot you again. I forgot that I had flash bolts still equipped from scroll duping. Well, that sucks. Here, let me, that is actually one of the good reasons to always have something like this, so just in case you accidentally mess up your scroll dupe pile, you can just reset it back to where it was, then re-equip minor heal wounds to heal minor wounds. Alright. But yeah, these bandits really are pushovers. They really don't have what it takes to be able to take all this poison. And they really have a lot of arrows that allow you to just straight up do whatever you want, I guess, with stealth archery. Because, I mean, if there weren't so many arrows here, then stealth archery would probably be a bit weaker, because your whole strength with stealth archery is having the ammo to be able to be a stealth archer. Because when you don't have arrows, you're not a stealth archer. But when you're killing so many enemies that all have arrows, then you just don't run out of ammo. You just constantly refill your ammo as you're going along. And so you can just keep going through and kill just about everyone. And nothing can stop you, because the more people you kill, the more ammo you get, and you only need one arrow each. Especially if you have a setup like this. Yeah, because without the poison, Stealth Archer here would actually be pretty lame, because you would only get that one burst damage and then no damage past that. I'm pretty sure if I were to jump... Okay, let me... Actually, jump game. Okay, I have, like, no control here. Let me jump onto this railing. There we go. You can control yourself in the air pretty well if you move first. Yeah, this is broken. You know, like, I knew stealth archery in Oblivion was pretty nasty. But with poison, it's broken. Like, this is absolutely broken. Like, and the funny thing is you can actually do something similar to this in Skyrim too. And I mean, the stealth archery in that game is already broken. I wasn't even using poison. I wasn't even using poison in Skyrim. And I was absolutely mauling bandits. Could you imagine if I used poison in Skyrim the same way I do here in Oblivion? Like, those bandits wouldn't have stood a chance at all, because I would be one-shotting every last one of them. On Legendary. On Legendary. Alright, well, I do know that we got another one here somewhere. There he is. Once we get into this skeleton room, it should be a bit tougher. Not a lot tougher, but a bit tougher. And I swear, I'm better at lockpicking in the original version. I don't know what the remaster is all about, but this is not a rant about the remaster. Yeah. But here, I'm going to continue clearing out the dungeon. I'm going to have a full conclusion once I clear this dungeon with this full setup. It's definitely a very powerful setup, though. My idea of setting up a good... Honestly, what I have for Morrowind is definitely going to be funny. I think people are going to love the way I play Morrowind Stealth Archer. Because I did a full playthrough with Stealth Archer in Morrowind, but I honestly didn't do it in a full optimized way. And I still did pretty good. It was honestly mostly because I just stayed in the back. Like, Stealth Archer in Morrowind is almost as strong as it is in Skyrim. It's just somewhat held back in some areas. You know, like, it's still very good. It just it has a bit of a problem whenever you're trying to hit enemies with low hit chance. You know, like, having low hit chance can suck in Morrowind. And it's especially apparent if you're, you know, a stealth archer. Yeah, there's a skeleton there, so I'm gonna walk another way. Try a different path. I'm gonna try the easy path here. Apparently this easy path isn't so easy. Okay, what is this? There we go. There we go, see, it's not that bad. Oh. Hey look, we got a skeleton over here. Let's see if poison works on bones. Oh, damage health has no effect. I guess they are immune to poison. Okay. Cool. So hey, I found the weakness to poisons. Undead. Yeah, so damage health ain't gonna work against undead. But I wonder if fire poisons, as weird as that sounds, I wonder if fire poisons work magic. No. Yeah, this skeleton caught us, so I'm just going to melee. And, oh yeah, skeletons are pretty nasty, aren't they? Alright, yeah, so skeletons, they definitely do some good damage. And yeah, out of stealth if you're a stealth archer. And yeah, maybe at a bit of a disadvantage. Yeah, so dealing with skeletons, this is gonna be interesting. Look, we got rats in here. Looks like we got a wailing stone way up there. I guess it would be fun to get it, so may as well. Oh, grab that arrow. I do know you can knock these out. There we go. Just like that. And where'd that arrow go? There it is. Oh, look at that. The game knows it put 2 arrows there just so you could knock it down. And now we got a wailing stone. Those are fun to consume to restore your mana. It's always nice to carry a bunch of those. In fact, you could actually scroll dupe those. You could scroll dupe anything. Back to my mage character, I scroll duped like a bunch of wailing stones so I could like ritual cast spells. That was fun. Now I should probably stealth blade against skeletons. Which doing stealth blade play is a bit harder because you have to actually sneak up behind your enemies. And oh look. He's turned. A turned zombie. Looking away. So yeah, if I actually sneak up behind the zombie, I can do 6 times damage, which did nothing. Okay. So zombies are posted. However, I should be able to easily just outmaneuver zombies. And yeah, as you can see, very tanky. Very tanky. I'm glad I'm not leveling up. I'm glad the game doesn't punish you for going levels, you know. Yeah, this ain't even stealth archery anymore, but, you know, it is what it is. Because dealing with undead with poisons just sucks. So really, that's the only real weakness with being a stealth archer is dealing with undead. guess everything else you could at least find something for. Here, let me, I guess, grab a potion respite. There we go. I'll at least get my fatigue up a bit. Yeah, as you can see, zombies just take a real while to beat. I mean, this guy's getting desperate to hit. There we go. Wow, that was just nasty there. But hey, we got more mort flesh. Yeah, that was just annoying more than anything. And as you can see, there's another zombie up here. Pretty sure our bow ain't gonna do much damage either. Yeah, as you can see, bow does like nothing. Here, what? You know, just to see. I'm going to see how good Flare works. Yeah, Flare doesn't really do much damage either. Okay, how about my... Oh. Okay, doing some pretty good bow play here. I didn't mean to rapid fire like that. Oh, you could actually do some good bow play here. You actually know what you're doing. I didn't realize you could, oh. Ooh. Yeah, I guess if you have high speed, you could probably play like a real Bosmer and just quick shot like Hawkeye. And I mean, I just got tons of arrows from those bandits, so I should have plenty to... Oh, I missed. Uh-oh. Haha, hit the knee. Guess you're not an adventurer like me. Alright, finish off the headshot. Hell yeah. I actually called that right. Yeah, it looks like bow and arrow shouldn't be too bad for DPS wise then, at the very least, so that's good. So yeah, bow build isn't really that bad. It's just annoying to go against undead because you can't use your poisons. Oh, I hear skeleton. Probably be better to just go pure stealth in this area. Honestly, this final boss should really be easy to deal with. Alright. What we got? We got another skeleton. There we go. Yeah, at least arrows just bounce off of skeletons, you know. And there are a few skeleton archers in this area, so definitely getting our arrows worth. Yeah, we're sitting up in one of these areas when we shot this other skeleton down, so we at least took out the skeleton archer. Doesn't look like there's any more, so that's good. Alright, well, let's go into the next room. Definitely got a few more areas to check out. This is definitely going to be a long one. Yeah, Oblivion setup is definitely very lengthy. No more one is definitely going to be pretty rough. I'm going to hit this skeleton archer. And as you can see, there's a trap here. Yeah, when there's traps involved, stealth archery is a little trivialized because traps just deal significant amounts of damage. I mean, this trap here is very destructive, especially like thing straight up drops down and violates you with 20 spikes or so. And they got an iron bow, which does 2 damage. Is that the same as my rusty? Yeah, that's about the same as my rusty, though my rusty is actually getting weaker. Here, let me tamper with this using hammers. Here, and specifically what I'm going to do here, because hammers do weigh a good bit, so I'm going to use one of these scrolls. Yeah. Getting a few repair hammers this way is definitely very useful for leveling up as well. Yeah, that way you don't need to worry about repair hammer durability. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, I guess we can turn invisible if I really need to. But you know, I don't really need to, so I'm not going to do so. And I think we're getting closer to the end of this dungeon. Okay, we got a skeleton over here. Yeah, as you can see, we definitely do some significant damage, and enemy pursuit is definitely interesting. Seems like if you hit an enemy and they don't know exactly where you are, then they'll actually have to work around some areas to actually get to you. Which is cool, you know? It does mean you get more chances to hit your shot off and not just have them run up on you and start clobbering you, forcing you into melee. Which isn't good if you're an archer, you know? Archers are typically better in range than they are in melee, so... you know, it is what it is. Now this here is a fun little gauntlet. If I remember correctly, this button here. Okay, that is one of the skeletons. Okay. At least dealing with the skeletons one at a time will make it easier. Okay. Well, if you hit one skeleton, I guess it will let all the other skeletons know. Oh! Okay, apparently you can get... I didn't even know that was a possibility. Okay. Yeah, I know it's on the right side, though. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's definitely this one. Yeah, so I didn't even know that was a possibility. Apparently, if you sit far back enough, you can just get more sneak attacks in. Which that really increases DPS out, significantly. Because, you know, the main downside with sneak attacks is you only really get one. At least in melee. Because if you hit someone in melee while sneaking, then they can just turn around, see you, and start clobbering you. And I did see a skeleton at the end of this hall, so I do know he's there. He's just... there he is. There we go. There we go. Took that skeleton out. Okay, it seems like not moving can get you some good sneak attacks in. I guess moving is what detects you a bit. So I'm definitely learning a bit more about how stealth archery works, and I mean, this is definitely a very busted build. It's not bad, like I don't take very many hits, you know? I mean, look at that, that guy is looking for me. He doesn't fully know where I'm at. And I can just take him out with a second shot. That counts as a sneak attack simply because he didn't know where I was. Even though he knew I was, he just didn't know where I was. You know? Alright, well, we're definitely dealing with a bunch of these guys, and yeah, I guess there is a Varla stone here, which is good if you have enchanted items. I don't care for very many Varla stones. Oh, look, that's a 3 damage bow. Yeah, these bows deal 3 damage. I'm gonna change that out, actually. Drop these 2. Oh, look, and my arrows do 3 damage now, so I'm doing... Okay, I'm doing 9... Okay. Hang on. That is... So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Yeah, I'm dealing 9 damage. Wait, what was I doing? Wait, no. I'm dealing 6 times 3. Okay. I'm dealing 18 damage every sneak attack. Sorry, I had to do a bit there because I had to actually look at the fact that you're adding arrow strength and bow strength. Yeah. Alright. So I should be like one-shotting. Okay, still not one-shotting every skeleton I come across, but I mean, I can just kind of sit back and two-shot them very well. Like, I'm not even running out of arrows either. Like, this is not a waste of arrows. Oh. Okay, great. Okay. We got an axe trap. Here, I'm going to drop a save. And we're just going to run through some of these axe traps, because axe traps are annoying. Alright, well, we got through there. Got an alien statue, which costs 250 gold. I do believe running through this axe trap will take us to the next area we need to be in. This should actually be the room with the necromancer, if I'm remembering correctly. Which, if that's the case, certainly does look like it, doesn't it? I do think this is the room, so I'm going to poison my... Yep, there he is. Alright, let's see if I can one-shot him. Well, I didn't one-shot him. However, he doesn't know where I'm at.
I fought butt crabs for fist.
Come on. There we go. Yeah, he healed out of it. And then I just shot him again. Huh. So, yeah. We just dealt with the boss of this area. I don't think we really had a real problem. Just got the final loot of this place. Yeah, so stealth archery. It's very busted. In fact, you know what? I could actually wrap things up here, and I could actually take my screenshot here. There we go. Yeah, this should be a good spot. Oh. There we go. There we go. That's much more like it. Yeah. Stealth archery. Alright, maybe I can get a good screenshot out of that. Alright, well, I think that could be a good place to wrap things up. So, I guess that's been stealth archery here in Oblivion and seeing what it's like and how good it is. My final conclusion, it's pretty weak if you're comparing it to Skyrim just as a one-to-one. You do have to get it set up a bit more just to make it more worthwhile. However, in full practice, if you have the right setup, then it can definitely be very potent and can still prove to be very lethal. However, the downside is it only is really lethal in lower levels simply because of Oblivion's level up mechanics, simply because I guess you would still do some significant damage, but if I sleep too much and level up too much, then all of the enemies will have significantly more health, and this really good 33 damage poison will basically become nothing. And in fact, you know, what I'm going to do is sit here and I'm going to see how much stronger my poisons can get just right here, because I mean, I only did 2 rotations of this. I would like to do one more rotation and see how much more you can do. Because I know if you really power level all the way up to the top, you do get significant poison damage, but there are limitations, because of course undead are completely immune to poison, same with Argonians, so you know, it doesn't really work on them very well, and that's only 66 Wisp Stalks. What happened to the rest? Did I just lose Wisp Stalks and... oh, there they are. Well, at least 2 of them. Oh, there it is. Alright. Alright. But you know, like, if you're trying to kill Argonians and undead, then poison really wouldn't be your best bet. However, there are other workarounds, because some poisons deal fire damage instead of just damage health. And I think that does count as actual fire damage and not just poison damage. Hopefully it doesn't count as like poison fire damage, because that would disprove my whole point. But honestly, considering how this game works, it probably would work that way anyways, so poisons are pretty limiting with how much you can actually do with it, but it is definitely something that stealth archers would have to rely heavily on for dealing with their targets. And yeah, as you can see, I just increased my alchemy even more, and I managed to get some pretty potent potions out of it. Alright, so we got 15 potions that deal 3 points for 12 seconds, which is definitely much more, so... yeah, and of course that got our alchemy up to 52 doing that. And now, we can also see the third effect on all these things. Not very useful, but pretty nice to have. Well, anyways, yeah, so my final verdict is... stealth archery is definitely broken if you set it up right. It's just not the best in the entire series here in Oblivion. It definitely has its caveats, and it definitely has its limitations. So yeah, it's pretty good, but not good enough. Well, anyways, this has been your bro Frostbird, and I think I'm going to have to catch you on the next one. Later!